All right, let's do this. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to the Uber Farmer Cigar Garage Talks. How's everyone doing? I'm doing pretty good. A little warning about tonight's video. It's going to get kind of serious. If you're a member of my family, it might even be a little bit upsetting. But it's one I've thought about and wanted to do for a couple of years, and this year's hit me kind of hard, so I decided, what the hell? Let's do the video finally. But before we go down that kind of sad road, what are we smoking? What are we drinking? Continuing on with the Sideshow cigars from the Diesel Company. This one is the Pinhead. Kind of a fun little cigar. If you look there, the cap, I get that to focus. The cap has this extra little pin that sticks out of it. Kind of cute, artsy fartsy. I actually had to use the official Diesel cutter to cut the Diesel cigar because you can't punch a Pinhead cigar. It had to be cut, so I went ahead and cut it with my V cutter. Like I said, we're trying to do special drinks, not just beer. So we have another one of these pre-done cocktails. On the Rocks Company, the old fashioned made with Knob Creek whiskey. Not a huge fan of old fashions, but I like these On the Rocks brand. Again, doing it straight. Usually put a little bit of lemon or a cherry in there. I'm just going to do it as it recommends. On the Rocks. Let's give her a try. Oh, that one's very tasty. Oh, I like that one. That's good. That's a nice old fashioned. The Manhattan was okay. Like I said, I think I had to throw some cherries in there because I'm used to how my dad used to drinking growing up. But well, that is tasty. That is a good old fashioned. Well done, On the Rocks Company. That's a good drink right there. So tonight, we're talking about the holiday spirit, the Christmas spirit. Like some years, I'm going to talk about this. This year, I'm having a real hard time getting into the Christmas spirit. It's just really kind of difficult for me to get all excited for the Christmas season and get all amped up for the different family traditions. There's a lot going on, right? We got my Uper mama, homeschooling mama, is pregnant right now. So there's a lot of stress and whatnot dealing with that. Work's being a little weird. And there's some other stuff going on. Two of my kids, 2 to 3 of them, don't believe in Santa anymore. So the excitement around Santa and presents is cut in half compared to other years. That doesn't help. But it really doesn't help that Christmas for me is a holiday that has gone through a metamorphosis multiple times throughout the years. When I was younger, Christmas was one of my favorite holidays. Not gonna lie, even though I knew the truth about Santa, I let myself believe in a different truth, a different reality for a lot longer than maybe was healthy. I mean, I knew the truth, of course, but I wanted to believe, right? You wanted to accept it as is. It's like people believe in ghosts. You want to believe. You know they're not real, but you want to believe. And that was kind of my thing with Santa. All right. Well, then my parents go and get a divorce. And holidays, like many people get divorced, holidays all of a sudden become weaponized. Who are you spending Christmas with? I have your Christmas gifts, but you have to do X, Y, or Z for me first. Grandma's coming up, Grandpa's coming up. You should spend Christmas with me. And, or you had the reverse. Who's going to pay for these Christmas presents? You know what? It's your mom's turn to do this, your dad's turn to do that. So very quickly after the divorce, I started absolutely hating holidays. A lot of holidays lost a lot of meanings to me. Christmas was one of the biggest ones. I just never really felt Christmas spirit. Again, after the divorce. Even years after, I'd go visit my mom or my dad, and there was always something missing. Also, during those years when my parents were divorced, and getting divorced, a lot of my sisters, I don't blame them, they wouldn't come back home for the holidays. Because it was rough, it was tough to be around two different homes, trying to navigate the politics of whose home do you go to, where do you celebrate this, who does this tradition. So a lot of my sisters avoided coming back into town. So a rift kind of grew between me and my sisters. I don't blame them, of course. That was a difficult time, a difficult situation. You don't want to play favoritism, but your parents want you to play favoritism. So once I got into college, I started getting a little bit more of the Christmas spirit. But I would forever be jaded by the divorce. It just really lost a lot of appeal to me. And then throw in the fact that I joined EMS, where holidays are transient. And my sisters and my dad and my mom had some issues. So, they wouldn't take the hint at first when I was in EMS that, if I call you on the 23rd wishing you a Merry Christmas, and all of a sudden you're like, but it's not Christmas, that's not for 2 more days. Well, yeah, but, we're having Santa come on the 23rd because Dad has to work the 24th, the 25th, and 26th. So that was difficult because sometimes I would have to celebrate. I mean, I worked many, many, many holidays. I worked tons of holidays. So some of those holidays just didn't have as much meaning to them. Thankfully, I started having kids of my own. And their belief became infectious. Their view of the holiday was something I swore to myself I wasn't going to ruin like it was ruined for me. At one time, I firmly want to believe, and I'm going to believe, that all 6 of my kids at the same time all believed in Santa. Very powerful year that happened. Shortly thereafter, they kind of realized what was up. But it was awesome. I had a lot of Christmas spirit going through that time. There were little things always that ruined it. Again, that family drama. Why aren't you going to Dad's for Christmas? Why aren't you going to Mom's for Christmas? Take the grandbabies here, take them there. Well, you know what? That's a lot of work. Having, 6 kids at sometimes, it's a lot of work to show them around. Working a very on-call job where I got very little time off being on the ambulance. Why did I go to Grandma's instead of Grandpa's for Christmas? Sometimes it was logistical. A lot of times it was political. What was going on. Or I'd choose to go to one or not the other, and then you'd have certain members of the family judge you for not going to both or going to one instead of the other. But for the most part, I was able to keep my Christmas spirit with my kids. And now every now and then, every couple of years, it kind of wanes. Where I really just don't feel like putting up a tree. I don't feel like putting up lights. I don't feel like digging out all the Christmas decorations. This is one of those years. It's very challenging for me to, get excited about pulling all those Christmas boxes down. I can only imagine, pulling them all out and getting them all set up and all the energy and time and cleanup it's going to take. I got other bigger things in my mind, like, where's the baby going to sleep? How are we going to make sure that money doesn't get too tight once Lena can't work for about a semester at the college. That's going to get tricky quick. So I'm really trying to rack my brain to figure out how to get back in that Christmas spirit. Christmas music is playing 24/7. We're watching Christmas movies constantly. That's not doing it. I'm trying to get excited for the religious aspects, which is working a little bit. This video will actually come out the second week of Advent. This first week here, we went to church, of course, and had actually a pretty good little homily, not going to lie. The priest out here did a good job. Sadly, though, the church for the kids program is not doing a Christmas Advent party. Years past, they usually have a bigger party where everyone gets together and they make wreaths or candles or nativity scenes or Advent calendars. This year, not so much. It's definitely scaling back. It is what it is, of course. So, yeah, I don't know. I need to definitely need to figure that out. Figure out what I can do to really get in that Christmas mood. It's not easy. Open to suggestions. You got any suggestions? Let me hear them. What do you do to get inside the Christmas mood? What works for you? I'm hoping, since this is just the first week of Advent, that once we start, doing some of the Christmas traditions, the baking, sending out cards, shopping, getting gifts. I know that's a little bit on the sacrilegious side, right? It's not about giving presents. Well, I really enjoy buying presents for people and getting people stuff. It's one of my favorite things to do. Hopefully that'll get me in there, but I'm telling you right now, entering into the Advent season 2023, bah humbug. I just don't have that Christmas spirit going. But I do hope I get a huge burst of Christmas spirit, and we can run forward, run forth, and really make the most out of this season. I'm sure I'll rally in the next couple of weeks. I have to for the three youngers. Again, I don't dare ruin their Christmas like mine was ruined when I was young. It's the driving force. Anyway, I know it's kind of a darker, a little bit more depressing topic, but again, it's one that's been on my mind. And I wanted to share it and get it out there. Anyway, folks, I'm going to go enjoy my Pinhead cigar, my very tasty old-fashioned, and rack my brain on how I can get more of that Christmas spirit. I hope none of you are also questioning your Christmas spirit. I hope you all are having full of Christmas spirit. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you on the next one.